Hey, Infected Knight here, and welcome to Minecraft. I'm gonna get back into I'm trying to get back into the swing of things with some YouTube videos. I know I was gonna post some regularly when I started working on the channel again, uh, but life got in the way. There was some things going on, both my professional and personal life, so I kind of put this on the back. As well as I got into Final Fantasy 14 again, kind of got a little bit burnt out with everything I was doing in Minecraft. But I want to try and get back into it. Uh, Going over my auto forge. Now, the auto forge is an idea that's been around for a while. Essentially, you have some form of item transportation, minecart, water elevator, something that pushes items over hoppers. Hoppers fill up the fuel as well as the smelt portion of a furnace, and then automatically gets pulled out by another hopper once it's done cooking. I don't know who invented it. This is just my take on the auto forge, and the reason I did it this way is because when I first was setting this up, my main source of fuel is bamboo, and if you've used bamboo as fuel before, you know that it takes four pieces of bamboo to smelt a whole item. One piece will only smelt a quarter of it, and then it'll stop smelting, and then you'll need to start from the beginning again. So I have it set up so that there is a comparator system built in with these hoppers so that it detects that there's enough items in the hopper to fulfill bamboo being able to cook an item, and then when there is enough, it'll activate this chain, and there's enough delay built in that this will have enough fuel. Otherwise, you won't have enough fuel, and then you'll run into situations where you're wasting a lot of fuel and not actually smelting anything. This timer here, it makes sure that there's enough pause, that these carts get filled up enough that they will drop off, see, that they'll drop off their items. I will say that these first hoppers will usually get front loaded, simply because if only 6 bamboo are coming through, then only this for 6 hoppers, and then it'll go back, and then 4 bamboo, first 4 hoppers, you know. But if there's more than 12 bamboo, each will get 1, and then coming back on this end. So as it goes over, it'll drop one piece of fuel or 1 piece of smelt into the hopper it goes over. Now I do have some other things. I have some water elevators, some turn off switches, because I have this entire thing automated connected to some farms. But I'm not going to go over that because I don't feel like it would add much to the video other than knowing that you can chain this up to other redstone devices. Pretty much what I'm going to do is from these 2 double chests there to this double chest down here, I'm going to be covering. Now, what materials will you need for this? So, obviously you're going to need a lot of iron, and a pretty significant amount of redstone. In total, you're going to need 12 furnaces, you're going to need 2 hopper minecarts, you're going to need 6 chests, that's 6 single chests, which will be turned into 3 double chests when you place them. You'll need 2 normal rails and 30 powered rails. The normal rails are here so that these turn on and off and allow this clock to work, or allow the clock to properly power those rails rather than them being powered all the time and it doesn't do anything. You'll need 28 redstone torches, which are placed here. 12 are placed here, 12 are placed here, and then there's 4 that keep the rails powered, and I'll explain why when I'm building it, why you want to use redstone torches instead of like a redstone block. These torches here are used to lock this hopper, and then this switch is actually used to lock the furnace so that you can use it as an XP farm as well. You know, pull the item out, get all the XP that's stored in the furnace, turn it back on, and it continues down the chain to that chest at the end. You'll need 12 levers for the XP portion of it. 55 repeaters. Almost all of the repeaters are going to be in this section here. There's a couple there's repeaters on these lines up here for the delay, or not for the delay, but to make sure a solid signal goes across. And then there's also a repeater here to make sure a solid signal goes across. You'll need 2 target blocks for the way I designed it. You don't necessarily need target blocks, but you would need to set this up in a way where the redstone runs into those blocks. I just had the wheat and the redstone, so I built target blocks because it's easier. You'll need 12 sticky pistons. Those are back here. You'll need 19 comparators. Most of the comparators are in this line. The one odd one out is on the redstone clock over here. You will need 69 hoppers. For 4 hoppers here, 4 hoppers here, and then a lot of hoppers. I think it's a lot of hoppers. And then down there. And then you'll need, I'm just guessing here, I didn't count it, about 2 stacks of opaque blocks. You want them solid or opaque so that redstone can pass through it. Redstone signals can pass through it. So you have like this block here. This torch is powering it, which is powering these lines. If you didn't have it there, it wouldn't power those lines, and if it's not powering those lines, that's active. If that's active, it's locking those hoppers so that nothing can get through. Go ahead and put this back, lights up, and it's good to go. I'll explain this in more detail as we get into the building process. Let me hop over into my creative world a while. And redstone land. So here we are in my creative world. Inside this large chest should be all the items that we need. Now I put 2 stacks of stone in here. In reality, I'm going to use terracotta or wool. I'm going to use some colored block to make sure, yeah, you can't push terracotta, so I'm not going to use terracotta. But I'm going to use colored wool so that you know the different parts of the circuit. So first off, let's go, what's this? No, not sand. Let's do red wool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this will be where all the repeaters are. Boom. Nope, those are comparators. So you'll want to set all the repeaters to 4 ticks. And wherever the repeaters are facing, that is going to be the front of your redstone. Or, sorry, of your auto forge. Takes a little bit of time, especially if you keep messing it up. Like I am. Okay. Next, you'll want to place a block in front of all these. Now, obviously, this is creative world, so the amount of resources I'm using does not actually match what I'm putting down. Guess I could technically change it to survival mode. So, we have the redstone torches. This receives a signal, and that signal will turn that redstone torch off. Okay. Now, above this, I'm going to change the color to a different wool block. So let's go with yellow. So this will be the next platform of redstone circuitry for this build. Okay. And this is where it gets a little weird because where am I going to put the chest? So the chest will be over here, I believe, and then boom. All right, yep. Now we do this long process of backing up. Now the reason why you want the hoppers pushing out is because, as you can see, these redstone torches are on, and they will lock. I just realized I didn't put this at the correct level. They will lock adjacent hoppers. So that hopper is locked by that torch. So you can't have the line running this way, otherwise you're just going to run into a locked hopper, and then it's going to cause, you have the potential to run into a locked hopper and cause backups, and you don't want any backups in your system, especially if it causes loss to efficiency. If you're running multiple items through this, you don't want it to be backed up and potentially you're unable to smelt because you can't clear an item out of a thing, out of a furnace. So now we're going to place the furnaces down. Okay. Now we're going to place the fuel hoppers. They go in the back of the furnace. Then we have these hoppers that are feeding into those hoppers. Then we're going to have the smelting hoppers. Boom. Okay. Now, this part gets a little bit confusing, and I hope I don't mess it up. Let's go ahead and... So we need the comparators, we need the pistons, and we'll need some more repeaters for this. Actually, we will also need torches, and let's use that for the circuit as well. So that goes back here. Now there's going to be a comparator running into, or getting an output from each bottom hopper. Now this is where it will get a little weird. So we don't want the redstone lines overlapping because that's not helpful. And we can't string comparators together because each comparator will read the signal from the previous comparator and so on. We also can't do it with repeaters because as soon as a repeater gets a signal, it's just going to send a full 15 block signal down the chain. So what you do is every other one is going to get a comparator. And there's a couple reasons for this, and it has to do with how Java handles redstone. Now, the other ones will get a repeater. So you have chain of comparators here, chain of repeaters here. You'll also need redstone, which I realize I did not say in the previous videos. So I apologize for that. I also messed up how this works. Give me 1 second. It's like this. Okay. Now, on all of these blocks, you have a repeater. Now, the amount of redstone you'll need for this build, I'm honestly not sure. I just kind of throw redstone on things and call it a day. And until you need an astronomical amount, which you will for the comparators and the repeaters. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a cheap build, but at the end of the day, it's not, the dust itself isn't too expensive. So, as you see, these are bleeding over, so those comparator lines are practically useless at the moment. Now, we throw this, that breaks up those lines. Boom. And one last one on the end. And you have each individual line, and the way this works is, so you got two, but that signal goes to here. And actually, let's angle it in a way that you can see, hopefully see both. But I don't know if that'll be possible. It's not a great, what if I just do it from here? Alright, well, we'll see the dust as it glows. Boom, 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 boom. Is that lit up? Nope, not yet. I think it's like 20 something. Boom. 24, right? No, 23? Yeah, 23 redstone dust. And now that repeater is turned on. And as you notice, none of these others are turned on as well. Now, if you were to change how this is built and make this redstone here, watch. You run into a situation where this line is powered. And you don't want that, because as this backs up, there's going to be more power and eventually it'll overwhelm it. And if there is inconsistencies with the amounts, then you have a problem. So you throw another comparator on here. That way you can throw 20, let's do 22 just for a test. So we have 22, that one's lit, that one's not. Now we got 23, and boom. Wait, are they both lit at 23? Yes, they are both lit at 23. The particles weren't going off. It was throwing me for a loop. Don't judge me. Now, I believe this is where, nope, this is where I want it. Yes. So we have our sticky pistons. As you can see, only those two that are detecting anything have, or are active. Maybe you can hear the video where it turns off. Let's go ahead and, what kind of block do I want to use for this? Let's flex and throw some netherite in there. It's not really flexing since it is creative, but you get the picture. Now, we'll go ahead and do a test of this quick. We'll grab some bamboo. Boom. Right. I got 31, 15, 22, nothing, 23, boom. Activates, sends a signal, turns off. There's 5 pieces of bamboo in there, which I understand. Technically, you would be wasting 1 piece of bamboo if there wasn't enough, and I get that. However, depending on the latency of your server, that can also affect how many pieces of bamboo get in there. So overshooting it a little bit is a little bit safer. And plus, losing 1 piece of bamboo sometimes is better than losing every piece of bamboo all of the time. Alright, so now that that is up and running, right? Next thing we want to do is, I'm going to grab a different piece of wool for this. Let's do magenta. We're going to set up our rails. So, Go across. Shift. Now I know rails get real dumb sometimes, and I'm not gonna say they don't get dumb, but oh, has anyone noticed in this update they've added that rails block water? That's pretty dope. That's what I hate about Rails, and I don't know why it does it. Okay. So I think this is how we fix this. Yep, there it is. Now, the reason why you want to use a redstone torch over like a block or a redstone line or anything is a couple reasons. A redstone block is expensive, right? Secondly, you don't want to power this block, because if you power this block, it's going to power those hoppers, and then those hoppers will be locked, and then you're just not able to use that side, right? Over here, boom, boom. I think the way I have it set up is powered rail, powered rail, powered rail, powered rail. Normal rail. Oh, yeah, I'm just dumb. Normal rail, powered rail, normal rail, powered rail. And then on this end, I'm going to mess that up. So that's activated, and this, and that is activated. You have the normal rails over here. Then you want I need to see something real quick. Okay. So you will also want to place your target blocks here. Now, I don't know if this is a thing anymore, but when I first built it, I noticed that the minecarts would go through the target blocks, which just isn't helpful. So we have the docking station. And now we're going to build out over here. That's going to be the hopper system. And I'm pretty sure I have everything laid out the way it needs to be laid out. I will need one comparator, one repeater. I'll need a couple more hoppers. And I'll need the minecarts as well, and some chests. So, got the hoppers, hoppers, hoppers into hoppers, chest, chest, and chest, chest. And then we have the minecart and and minecart. And next we have, oh, I messed that up, but that's fine. Okay, then we have a comparator to a repeater. Like I said, if it goes into a repeater, it just amplifies the signal to 15. And we'll go ahead and throw in a magenta block, and boom. What did I do wrong? Oh, I know exactly what I did wrong. And that was a silly mistake of me. Okay. I was supposed to put the target blocks there. So I technically built this a little bit too far away. I need more target blocks. Or I need more wool. Okay, cool. Cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. And powered rails. Boom. And the hopper minecart. Okay, there we go. So I technically built it too far away, but that's fine. Mistakes happen. And as you can see, they go across, and they come back, then they go across, and they come back, and there should be enough time built in. As you can see, it activates before they come back, and then it parks, and then it sends it out. So you might need to play with the clock a little bit, especially depending on how you decide to build this with the area you're given. But this is a pretty effective way to do it, in my opinion. Now, we just need to make sure it works. So, what we're going to do is, over the top is your item that needs to be smelted or cooked. So let's go search for raw. Let's do raw iron, since they just changed how that works. And looks like a chicken. It makes me laugh. As you can see, for some reason this isn't updating until I leave it. Boom. And now if we look in here, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, now for this side, since this is specifically designed to run with bamboo, let's make it easy. Let's see, there is 12 divided by 2, or 12 times 2 is 24. So let's proof of concept this a little bit. So what it's going to do is, yep. So this minecart's going to fill up. Now, as you can see, depending on how it's set up, you got only a few in there, and it's not working at the moment. Now, remember, it takes 23 to start it. So you're going to need like 23 bamboo stacks to start running this thing efficiently. But that also means that you won't be wasting a lot. Now, I have mine configured to a bamboo farm, and to a kelp farm. The kelp would come in the smelt area, the bamboo comes in the fuel area, and then you end up with a lot of cooked kelp, which you can turn into blocks, and kelp blocks work way better than normal coal. So you're essentially using the worst fuel to create an excellent fuel, both of which are limitless in quantity. So you can just keep doing it forever. Let's get some more bamboo. Okay, there's a way to do this. How is it done? Ah! That's right, it's the center wheel button. I don't know why this is being weird in my creative world. But you can see it updating there. I don't know why the chests aren't updating. But soon we will begin to see all of these start to reach capacity, and then one by one these pistons will begin to fire. Where are we at? 18 on that one? Oh, 18. Yep, so the first two start to kick off. Yeah, so they actually only put in 4 this time. I don't know why I put in more than that. Yeah, so this one put in 5, the other one's put in 4. Now you'll notice he's locked up again, locking these hoppers. So that is one kind of issue with the system, is that if there's not enough fuel, they'll get locked up. But as soon as there is enough fuel, it will push it out. And then down here we should start seeing, yep. Now, the final thing you need to do is apply switches to all of these blocks. Or levers, sorry, levers to all of those blocks. and that locks this hopper as well as turns off the torch. So you don't want to use this all the time, especially if fuel's an issue. But you activate it there. Now, there's probably some other ways you can get away with doing this, but this is the way I decided to do it. And it's kind of really cool early on when you're doing this, because you get to see weird stuff like this happen. Yeah, it's like a typewriter almost. Well, that's it for me in my auto forge. That is fully bamboo certified. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to be doing more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching. Infected Knight, out.